Wow. That can be fun. Da, 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 da. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I hate this. Shout out Portland, Oregon. All my Antifa homies out there. Doing God's work. Going crazy out here, bro. Antifa's going crazy. Do you see this shit, bro? Antifa's tearing shit up. Antifa's tearing shit up right now. Damn, the swings are swinging. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Oh, God. Oh, no, we have to talk about gay Charlie Kirk. Gay Charlie Kirk. Gay Charlie Kirk. Gay Charlie. Here. What's this kid? This kid right here. All right, Brylan Hollyland. Oh, happy Saturday. So, after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, a lot of people tried stepping up to the plate to replace Charlie Kirk, or to continue his work, and this is one of them. Now this child, Brylan Hollyhand, was caught on his own video in a private jet. Very, 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 very real, by the way. Not astroturfed at all. Very real feeling. On a private jet, ready to go take on college campuses, and he got roasted for it.
Hollyhand's here, about 30,000 feet up. We are on the way to
30K
Arkansas.
feet up.
So everybody in line at the
Relatable.
University of Arkansas to kick off my 10-stop campus tour. We are coming to you right here, right now.
30K feet up, 30,000 people lose their health care. Hell
Stay
yeah.
in line. We have gotten a third room as we have sold out this campus stop 3 times. But we are coming to you. We will fit you in. Students will get priority, but we will make it happen. I cannot be more excited.
It's really cool. I'm sure he has a wonderful husband. But the comments said, like, hey, dude, you're talking about working class issues on a private jet. And he said, it's not my plane, it's my neighbor's plane. My neighbor, dude, you must live in the hood, borrowing planes from your neighbor. Holy shit.
Sponsor. One of the people who's going to be doing a full.
By the way, that kid's this kid's dad is a low-income housing manipulator, a slumlord who made money off of manipulating low-cost housing. Very nice.
TPUSA sponsored college speaking tour is Brylan Hollyhand. He's a 19-year-old political commentator. He's best-selling author of One Generation Away, Why Now is the Time to Restore American Freedom. He's chair of the RNC's Youth Advisory Council, and he's host of his own show, The Brylan Hollyhand Show. Brylan, thanks so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
Is this right-wing Harry Sisson? Right-wing Harry Sisson, right?
Ben, thanks for having me. Happy
gotta
Friday.
be.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Harry Sisson
So
is competition.
first of all, why don't we talk about what exactly the college speaking tour is going to constitute? How many colleges are you hitting? Which ones are they? And what are you going to be talking about?
You know, Ben, what man meant for evil, the Lord is now using for good. And what's become clear in the last week is that you can kill a man, but you can't kill a movement. And all across this country, we're seeing an uprising of the next generation waking up to the fact with seeds of revival being planted across this country. You know, what this assassin, this coward, in an attempt to shut our generation up, he actually woke us up. And we're going to be traveling to these campuses to.
Now, this person was insane that did it. I'm happy this person is not saying they. He's not saying they want to kill us, which is a call to violence from the right wing. If you see a right winger say they want to kill us, they're calling for violence. The Daily, by the way, Ben Shapiro's outlet, the Daily Wire, someone wrote an article on there explicitly calling for violence. The victim mentality is insane. After the El Paso shooter shot up a bunch of brown people in a Walmart in Texas, No Democrat said it's Trump's fault or all Republicans' faults, although that person quoted Trump directly with the invasion of America. He was looking for brown people. But that's why I think this kid is not going to get. He's either going to become distorted and twisted because his audience is going to want him to have more violent rhetoric, or they're going to reject him. His willingness to participate in slightly good faith and say this killer did this and not blame the entire world that he doesn't like for it is probably going to hold him back in right-wing media, in my opinion. It probably should not, but I do appreciate that he's doing that.
Speak to young people that are
very low bar, very low bar. Very low bar.
This country. You know, what this assassin, this coward, in an attempt to shut our generation up, he actually woke us up. And we're going to be traveling to these campuses to speak to young people that are more energized than ever before. So I kicked off the tour last night at the University of Arkansas to a sold-out auditorium of over 500 students that packed out to come see us with 1 week notice. We're going to 9 other campuses, so 10 campuses total all across this country, because so many young people are eager to get off the sidelines right here, right now, because they're waking up to the fact, Ben, that this is no longer red versus blue.
Oh wait, not a neighbor. It was a hometown friend. Wow. Okay, I hear y'all. LOL. Glad the keyboard warriors are well. Yesterday, I went from English class to a campus speech 10 hours away. A hometown friend offered to get me help because I couldn't afford it. I'll keep showing up to do the hard work on college campuses, and I hope y'all do too. I'm pretty sure he did shows since he was a 4th grader. Completely astroturfed. It's really interesting how they develop these. It's not like a grassroots movement. It's all billionaire funded, very billionaire funded. But
look, this is a fight of good versus evil. They want to be on the side of good. They want to pay attention to politics. This is no longer a fight of just their parents or grandparents' arena. They want to get in the arena now, and it's so cool to see.
Good versus evil. Is there a Democrat that just said, "Hey, this is good versus evil"? I feel like Democrats that I would criticize probably called right-wingers or white people racist or something, or authoritarian or fascist or whatever. But at least that's a criticism you can make and argue and debate about, different rhetoric and different actions. Making it about good versus evil is very absolute. It shuts down the brain. It makes you more primitive in your thinking. Yeah, it's just like, if you feel like you're debating evil, you can't really debate evil. That framing is kind of crazy, but that's what they all do now.
Talk about the kind of stuff that you're going to be talking about on this tour. Obviously, I'm sure free speech is going to come up. What safety precautions, number 1, are you taking? And number 2, what kind of topics are you tackling?
You know, 2 weeks ago, I didn't have to travel with a security detail. That's like a brand new concept to me. It's kind of a crazy world to live in, that like a college freshman can't walk to classes himself or like go on a campus, the one place you're supposed to have like a free exchange of ideas without
a security detail. I know students who are Muslim, for example, who get 100 death threats every day. And the White House openly says Muslims are subhuman every day as well. So like Trump, a bunch of Republican Congress people, they call for Muslims to be attacked in America every day, and they don't have security details. It's a terrible situation, but we need the idea. It's okay for Republicans right now to say Muslims are incompatible with our country, all Muslims, and they must be kicked out and denaturalized and deported, whether here legally or not. It's just really crazy they can get away with saying that over and over and over and over again. They said it about Zoran Mamdani and then about every single person in America in these demographics. Yeah.
Like armed men in suits and guns. Like that's an insane concept to me, Ben. But sadly, that's the reality that we live in today in 2025 in America. I will say that what we're going to be doing is continuing Charlie's legacy of championing civil discourse. That's what he lived and died doing, and we want to continue that baton on these campuses. The one place that you're supposed to have free expression right now is the one place that's being censored. So we want to continue that. And what I want to be really—
How is it being censored? How is it being censored? Like Charlie Kirk, he was at the DNC. I think people forget. I know they're talking about college campuses. That's how Charlie Kirk grew his brand, because they did allow any speaker to come on campus. But like Charlie Kirk went to the DNC and it was fine. Like he was at the DNC, the Democratic hub. The Democrats let him in to the DNC. They did not block him out whatsoever. Do you think Rachel Maddow could just go to the RNC? Charlie Kirk was in the DNC. I don't think people remember that. He went to in Chicago. He attended. He was inside, live streaming, I'm pretty sure. Some people yelled at him for sure, but there was nothing crazy that happened in the Democratic hub of the world. But I don't know. Censor, censor, censor. As Donald Trump is designating all Democrats as terrorists in America, the new guidance that came through, Stephen Miller, the real president, said the joint terrorist task forces all across America are being activated, and they want to make thought crimes illegal, pretty much. Some things on that list are like anti-capitalism. You can't be anti-Christian. You can't express those beliefs, or you're an expected terrorist. Eventually, you can't talk about authoritarianism. You can't protest ICE at all, peacefully, whatever. You cannot protest ICE, or they want to call you a terrorist. These guidelines are insane that came out.
Clear is what we're seeing today is the result of higher education and liberal indoctrination starting during the hippies movement in the 60s and 70s, where these activists and teachers...
Okay, well, yeah, remember, Charlie Kirk was anti-civil rights movement, so they have to be as well. The hippie movement in the 60s and 70s. Okay.
Clothing seeped into our education system and starting the indoctrination at higher ed, and we've gotten all the way down to kindergarten teaching
what indoctrination?
Kindergartners. We've got to stop that. So we're going to the root cause of the problem. We're going to these college campuses.
Were pronouns even a thing in the 60s, bro? Were pronouns even a thing in the 60s? Anti-Americanism, okay? Anti-capitalism, anti-Christianity, support for the overthrow of the United States government. So like January 6ers fall into a lot of these, by the way. Extremists on migration, on race, on gender, and January 6ers actually did crimes, but they pardoned them. Hostility towards those who hold traditional American families on, or American views on family. Hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on religion, whatever that means. Hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on morality. So how can they label someone a terrorist based on morality? Based on what they consider to be anti-capitalism, based on what they consider to be anti-Americanism. So if you're anti-invasion of Afghanistan, you're anti-invasion of Iraq in the early 2000s, would you be labeled as a terrorist now under this regime? If you're anti-Israel, if you're anti-Russia, would you be labeled as a terrorist? I know if you're anti-Israel and you're on a student visa, they'll put you in a prison cell for your thought crimes if you speak out as pro-Palestine. What definition are they going to go by for censoring speech in this way?
Campuses. And what I'm trying to be really clear to our generation today is what we're seeing in America today is a result of our generation being raised to believe that politics and faith are taboo topics. We were told that we couldn't talk about politics and faith at the dinner table. We were told that we couldn't talk about politics and faith out in public. Therefore, when our generation gets frustrated about politics and faith, we don't know how to communicate with each other. We just know how to scream at each other. We know how to assassinate each other. We know how to, paint our hair blue, get a nose ring and a bullhorn and shut down a college campus and protest, but we don't know how to actually sit down.
Yes, hair blue, nose ring, shut down, yes.
On a table and have a free discourse of ideas, Ben.
The person who killed Charlie Kirk was, he had blue hair. He was also trans, of course. He was also an Antifa super soldier. He was definitely not a straight white guy from a Mormon family who went crazy. Definitely not. Definitely not.
So that's why I'm going to this campus. We had a really good conversation last night. Some people agreed, some people disagreed, but guess what? We all had it civilly. That's what we have to champion on these college campuses.
Now, Bradley, it does feel like there is a gigantic movement that was already arising, obviously, before Charlie was killed. It is now multiplied in size and effect. So a bit of controversy broke out over a social media video that you did introducing the tour. You were sitting on a private plane, and so people were getting uptight with you for being on a private plane while making this video. What's your take on that?
Ben, I've been in politics for 8 years. I've never flown private before. I flew private last night because to make it to this tour, I had to leave English class in the afternoon and make it really in a tight turnaround to get to the speech in Arkansas. Not my plan of the future.
It's okay if you have billionaire donors. Just say you have billionaire donors. It's fine. You do have billionaire donors, objectively. Just say you do. It's fine. Just say you do. We know it already. Just say you do, okay? Get it over with. We know you do.
Commercial for 8 years. I'll fly in this afternoon commercial to speak at a Faith and Freedom Conference in North Carolina. I'll be flying commercial next week to my speeches. That's the life I live. I can't afford private. A very nice person offered this flight in Arkansas yesterday to make it to this.
It's fine if you have billionaire friends. It's fine. It's cool. You have sugar daddies. It's fine. It's fine. It's not even a big deal. It's really not a big deal. It's really not.
Speech was I had to fly from being a freshman at Auburn University to make it to my English classes to get my grade and graduate with a diploma, fingers crossed, and then make it also to try to champion civil discourse on the speeches. So that's where we stand.
Well, Brylan, thanks for doing what you're doing. We'll obviously be keeping tabs on your entire tour. And
it's really crazy that you cannot call Stephen Miller a Nazi now. It's illegal to do that. It's now terrorism to call Stephen Miller a Nazi, which he is. Objectively, that's his belief system. I'm not saying that everyone agrees with him. I don't think so. But he's the real president, and most Americans don't know that. Trump says more of a moderate position on things like immigration than Stephen Miller says some crazy ass shit. Now Trump certainly doesn't help the case at all, but Trump is not anywhere near Stephen Miller. Like Stephen Miller is what a Nazi looks like. Trump is not. I don't think Trump cares that much. I think he's more of just like he wants power, he wants to have nice things, money, he hates his enemies, all that kind of stuff. That's fine. But Stephen Miller is insane. He is batshit. He's a rap. He's insane. He's crazy as shit. But you can't say that. It's a thought crime now. It's a thought crime. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll take a phone call, I guess. Please donate to the channel, Draw Out Politics on Cash App or Venmo. Please, Cash App or Venmo. Thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey man, I feel like nobody's calling in, so I figured I'd call again. I think I have one issue we might not agree on, so.
Hey,
Hello, what's up?
did you get my call right now, or did it go through?
You're on the stream now.
I am. Oh, okay. How you doing, man?
I'm doing alright. How are you?
Hey, good. I just came up on your live YouTube video, so I just want to kind of give a call and see. I haven't really listened to your whole podcast. I just actually joined in, but I do see on the front page says the Trump is a dictator.
He wants to be one.
Just
Not yet, but.
Oh, he wants. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's some truth there, But what do you think about the previous administration? Did it seem like they were going towards that same direction, or you think it's just coming from the right side?
There's not one time Biden tried labeling Republicans as terrorists and domestic extremists. Not one time Biden ignored Supreme Court rulings and other federal courts. There's not one time Biden said immigrants or another subgroup or minority group is poisoning the blood of America. And Biden was very he hated dictators. Trump loves Putin. Lately, he soured on him because Putin kind of betrayed him and cheated on him. But Trump loves the aesthetic of a dictator. Look at the Oval Office right now. Definitely not. I think Biden, his biggest failure was not doing enough against that, but he did do some anti-corruption stuff, but hell no.
Okay. I mean, there's some. I mean, I hear you definitely. What I feel like what's happening with the previous administration, especially with the a cancellation. I mean, not cancellation. The what is it called? The cancel culture and silencing people and not letting them think for themselves. Stuff is kind of like more of a dictator approach than what Trump is doing. But I mean,
Trump fired people for. He's firing FBI agents right now for I don't know, for taking a knee during 2020, during BLM, for just for working on the January 6th case at all. It's not even the FBI agent's job to choose what they work on. Just for working on January 6th, he fires them. There's nothing comparable at all that Biden did. And I can criticize some things Biden did, but there's nothing comparable, nothing comparable whatsoever. And just today, again, Trump said to Pete Hegseth, I want the full force authorization of the U.S. military to be used in Portland, Oregon. Nothing happened in Portland today. It was completely quiet. But he wants the military everywhere. Anyone who threatens the military to supersede local and state rule when they don't want it in peacetime, the military should only be in American streets if we're being invaded by China. It should never be in a situation like this. But Trump is normalizing that.
Do you think I mean, before he started sending troops and stuff, do you think our streets were filled with illegals and criminals, really high end criminals? They were on the FBI watch list. Do you feel in some way a bit safer with just the amount of criminals that just got locked up, or I mean, how do you?
No, not at all. I don't want to see armored tanks in my community. I don't want to see random people who may have had their visa expire last week be ripped out of their homes or out of their car with their window shattered by random fat-ass white dudes with masks on. I don't want to see that in my community. I do not feel safer whatsoever. I want to help law enforcement and police, whose job it is to protect and serve our communities. I don't want the federal government thinking they can solve every single problem when the local people don't want it, when the state doesn't want it. I do not want that federal government doing that. If Joe Biden said he wanted to invade Arkansas because they abuse their children as child labor and because they don't vaccinate their kids, I'd be against that too.
Do you think the local government was not really doing enough where he got to the point, okay, you know what, if you guys don't want to do it, I'm sending, the federal troops. I mean, what do you think about
There's
the
literally
local?
nothing happening in Portland today. There's nothing happening at all, and he wants to send the military in. Not National Guard, not local police. He wants to send the military in. You understand how batshit insane that is? It's not even a normal conversation. Like, we should be in an insane asylum for even having this conversation.
No, I'm just saying is like, well, how do we know that? Like, how do you know exactly who is in Portland right now? Do you think, how do you know where's the terrorists right now?
There's live streams of these cities. I've been in cities when Trump said there's a war zone there and there's nothing going on. Maybe you protest in one square city block and he wants to send in the damn military. Our streets are already militarized with our police force with billion-dollar budgets, $10 billion budgets. To act like that's not already a thing is insane. He wants to send the military in. He tried seizing voting machines in 2020, also when nothing was happening. So like he wants to be able to use the military for his political means, and that's insane.
Yeah, I just know for sure. I mean, you and I mean, I really like how you talk. The way you speak. That's totally fine. I just know for sure that there's something you and I don't know exactly what's going on, right? We can only go based on what somebody else says, what the media says, what we see. But like, what's going on behind the curtains, we'll never know that.
So
brother.
like, I know for a fact the 2020 election was not stolen, and I know for a fact the January 6ers who beat the shit out of cops with their own riot shields and American flag poles and tased them in the necks on video. I know for a fact they were set free by the Trump admin, and multiple of those offenders went to assault children after he pardoned them and went to go kill. They were killed by law enforcement as well, many of them, because they were anti-cop wackos who did January 6th. And everyone can say, oh, there's some people who are innocent. He pardoned every single one of those terrorists. I know that for a fact. I know for a fact Trump lies about the election today. I know for a fact.
So sorry, man. It was cutting off. I want to hear that last part you said. Sorry, I didn't hear it.
We know for a fact that he pardoned people who acted violently to stop an election and the peaceful transfer of power. And he is the reason they rioted, because he lied about the election. He still lies about it. He pardoned them. And now there's people who chanted kill those cops who work for the DOJ right now as top law enforcement officials in our country.
But do you think what was happening in 2020 was kind of a little sketchy and stuff, like especially when the votes got drastically changed in the middle of the night? They were locking up. They
weren't changed.
So many
they counted the mail-in ballots.
Machines were not working.
We said for months that the mail-in ballots would come in late, and Trump was going to say he won even if he loses, and he did that. So like, Obama was president in 2016, right?
Yeah.
And Trump won and took office, even though he got less popular votes. Okay, so he got less popular votes, but we still respected the Electoral College. Then in 2020, Trump was president, right? And Biden won. Trump says it's stolen. He says he would say anything stolen because he's a bitch. In 2020, that happens. I'm sorry, I don't say the word anymore. Because he is a dipshit. So he's president, and Biden wins. Okay, and he cries about it. And then Biden's president. And then with Biden's administration, Trump wins again. So how the hell did Obama, Biden, and the deep state let Trump win twice? And then when Trump's president, Biden wins. It makes zero sense for anyone who has a brain. In those terms.
It's really weird. I mean, I know for sure, for a fact that the left side, the Democrats, were also saying that this previous election was stolen, right? By Trump.
Wait, what Democrat said that? What Democrat said that?
It was, I believe Clinton said something like along that line, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they never said it was stolen at all. No, there was never a claim at all.
Yeah.
Hillary conceded power the moment she lost. The next day, she conceded the election.
No, not her. No, not at that time. It was during the previous election right now, last year.
What? No elected Democrat claimed the election was stolen. It did not happen. There was zero protest outside the Capitol when Trump won. Zero.
There was zero. There was zero protest when he won.
On the day where they certified the election in 2024. In January. No, there was no protest. Yeah. There was none. We can look at the videos of that day.
In the United States. Zero protest.
Yeah, no, there were a few people on the street. Maybe there was there was no organized protest though. Yeah, no, there was
not. No, 100% there was.
Because I know, I know for a fact because there was a damn snowstorm that day. Yeah, so there was no protest, and there was none after it. The peaceful transfer of power went through. No Democrats contested the election. No, in DC, outside of the Capitol, when the Trump supporters rioted in 2020, in 2025 or 2021, in 2025 when Trump won again, no leftists were storming the Capitol. That did not happen.
No. The thing is, what happened in 2020. I totally hear you. What happened in 2020, it's kind of sketchy thing that's happening right now in Serbia. If you look up what's going on in Serbia, So what's happening is they send these people with the mask and stuff, and they go start destroying stuff around, right? And then the media starts taking photo and videos of those specific people, and they start labeling the whole Republican Party as someone, as fool rioters, and look what you've done, all of you guys, right? But no,
that's what Republicans do to Democrats. Democrats have a protest in 2020 where it's not even Democrat run; it's a decentralized protest, and it literally is like 99.9% peaceful. The 0.1% is all they talk about. They say every Democrat's violent. Then January 6th, something Republicans openly support, other than right after it when they thought Trump was gone. Trump almost got fully impeached after January 6th. And then Trump's in power again, and Biden himself separated every single conversation. There's a difference between election deniers and regular Republicans. Every single time Biden talked about it, he said there's a difference. But now they call every single Democrat and liberal a domestic terrorist in America. The White House says this. You can't find one Democrat who says all Republicans are violent. You can find multiple White House officials now and senators and congresspeople who say that now.
Well, the Congress, yeah, but the people, what happened during the BLM protests and rioters? I mean, the whole United States was burning. I mean, that's way worse than what happened.
Do you realize that's stupid, right? You realize saying that's stupid, right?
No, 100%. I mean, I've seen
the whole United States was burning. You know, that's an emotional statement. The whole U.S. was burning.
No, that's not emotional. It was going everywhere.
It's emotional. The whole U.S. was burning.
For violence.
So is Minneapolis there? Is Minneapolis there? Is Minneapolis standing?
Is Minneapolis standing? I mean, every city is standing right now. I mean, every state is standing.
So the entire country was on fire.
It was just
I'll tell you what. If we had that many people protest and they were all rioting, we would not have a country anymore. The reason that there was still damage. It was partially during COVID and 2020. But it was a very small percentage of people that were not even affiliated with the protest most of the time. There were random people taking advantage. But still, Democrats condemned that every step of the way. They condemned it. Trump says January 6th is okay. He says they are heroes if they beat the shit out of cops on that day for him. He says it's okay for them to do that. He gave them a pardon. He put them into the DOJ. It's not similar whatsoever.
You don't think every congressman and senator was actually condemning what happened during BLM? Do we have that statement from every single one?
Joe Biden was anti-defund the police, very anti-defund the police. Joe Biden rejected that right away.
Well, okay. Well, he didn't even know where he was half of the time. I mean, the auto pen was.
Okay, you're not a serious person. You're not a serious person. You're not a serious person. Have a good night. Nice. You can't do the. I'm not doing that anymore. It's just brain dead. Joe Biden's a secret communist Antifa soldier who wanted to subvert the freedom of every Republican. But also, he was brain dead and not there. It's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. Trump right now can't, say words in general. He can't even think. Trump is like, I thought Putin was my best friend. I thought Putin was my daddy. I thought me and Putin were dating, but Putin keeps on bombing people. And now we're going to take all of Ukraine back and parts of Russia, too. You realize the flip Trump did on Ukraine alone, where he says, before, you don't have the cards, because he's a dipshit. You don't have the cards. And then he's like, for months at a time, well, Putin loves me, so I think I could trust him. Everyone's like, Donald, you can't trust him. He keeps cheating on you like he's a girl in high school with a lover. And now after all these grandmas get bombed and kids get bombed and Catholic churches and Christian churches, after all these churches get bombed, after all these months, Putin bombed an American company. Trump said nothing. Israel killed multiple American citizens. Trump said nothing. But he's pulling out Netanyahu's chair every time he comes to the White House. And now I'm on Ukraine. Trump not only doesn't say they don't have the cards. He doesn't say they don't have the cards. He says Ukraine can take all of Ukraine back. Ukraine can take all of Ukraine back, Trump said the other day. And also parts of Russia. What do you make out of that as a Trump supporter? It's just crazy. Please drop a like, donate. Please help the channel. Really appreciate it, please. Please, I'm begging. Oh, shit.
Is not available.
Okay. You're not available. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, this is the YouTube thing. What's up?
Hey, I want to see if y'all are still doing the lives as far as the debate.
Yeah, I'm live.
Hey, what's up, bro?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
So I'm new to I kind of say apolitical on these things, brother. So I'm trying to figure out like where you standing at, bro, because I'm trying to see what's going on. Why is it all the hate towards? Because he's the president. I thought everybody liked the president, man. So
Yeah,
what's
everybody
the
loves the president. Everybody, all the time. Politics is never disagreed upon. Everyone loves the president.
right?
Everyone loved Obama. Everyone.
Because even with Obama, I thought he was good. I'm black. I thought Obama was cool. I voted for him. I didn't know too much about politics, but why does everybody hate Trump so much? Like, what is?
Wait, why did they hate Obama though? They called him a Satanist, Muslim, communist, anti-American. Republicans
Right,
called him
right. Right, but I'm looking at like I think people are getting too caught up in what the issues and what the issues are and what the solutions could be. I'm not opposed to people having opinions and things like that, but when it's to the point where we cannot even have freedom of speech or people are getting shot up and stuff over that, does politics really make sense, bro?
So, like with political violence, do you know Ronald Reagan got shot?
Okay.
Do you know about that?
No, yes.
Ronald Reagan got shot. You know why
Right.
the person shot Ronald Reagan?
Why?
Because he thought he was impressing a famous actress that he never met. He thought the same famous actress would learn his name and be impressed if he did something for her.
Hmm.
People that do these things are not mentally there. They are insane. And
Right.
their belief systems are usually
It is
incoherent.
insanity.
Making it
Right.
into something ultra political when someone's outside of politics when they're insane is hard. Like the Unabomber, that person was not a Democrat or a Republican. They were insane as shit. They were crazy.
Right, right. So
Yeah, John
what?
Hinckley Jr. shot Ronald Reagan in 1981 in an effort to impress actress Jodie Foster. It's just really crazy. So like that person did that. Imagine if Democrats at that time said, "Holy shit, this person is a radical terrorist," and every
Right.
person who did.
It is radical. Right. Go ahead.
But like right now in America, we cannot just say like, "Oh, freedom of speech is under." That's a government thing. If the government is going to censor speech directly, that's the government thing. With like cancel
Right.
culture, that's a different topic. With an assassination, that's a different topic. And they need to be approached in unique ways for each of them.
Okay. Okay. So let's zoom forward to now. All of the chaos, everybody, I hate this. The president needs to be this. And I was hearing the same thing with Sleepy Joe. What is the difference from your perspective, and this is me asking you, what do you think the difference is between what Biden did and what Trump is doing now? Just your opinion.
Biden followed every single court order. Biden never threatened to send the military into red states if he didn't like what they were doing. If red states did child labor, for example, Biden did not say send in the military. Biden listened to the courts. Biden passed policies that benefited Republican states more than Democratic states with his infrastructure bill, with the CHIPS and Science Act, with the Inflation Reduction Act. They all benefit Republicans more. When Democrats said to Biden, "Why did you do that? Why did you help people that didn't vote for you?" He said that part of America needs help, and we need to help them. And Joe Biden, he tried to do that. He was too old. He was too tired. He was too all over the place. And I have a lot of criticisms for him. I blame him for largely why Trump won. I think he's the main reason Trump won, to be honest, in a list of other reasons. But there was never a time where I thought, okay, Biden's going to send in the damn military to American streets. Now Trump's doing that every single day, and he's openly saying, I hate Democrats. I hate my fellow Americans. Trump says that every day.
Okay. Well, so you said Trump. So what as far as the immigration was going on, do you believe that illegal migrants are supposed to be just coming over to this country as far as the deportations, what he's doing?
I don't want unidentified federal agents blowing up.
As a taxpaying citizen.
I don't want federal agents with no identification tearing apart communities and taking random brown people into detention because they can get paid for a private prison complex, which is what's happening right now.
Right. However, I'm seeing what's going on with that as well. On TV with the protests. It's supposed to be peaceful protests, but however, I don't know how the federal agents work. do you think it's wise of those protesters to the way they're going about it? Because protests have been around for years.
When we know in ICE facilities, when we know that immigrants are being raped and abused and be forced to eat maggot-laced food, then there probably should be protesting, and the government should stop sending unidentified federal agents into our streets. That should not be a thing in America. I am much more threatened by the federal government sending in the National Guard, military, unidentified federal agents into the street. I'm much more threatened by that than I ever would be a random person coming over the border into America. There's no reason why I would be more afraid of a random immigrant who walked 30 days to get into America, or who is here on a visa or whatever else. They have a lower crime rate than American citizens. I am afraid of the federal government abusing their power. I'm always going to be more worried about the federal government doing illegal things versus random individuals.
Okay. Well, I'm just it's good conversation with you, brother. I'm just because I am apolitical. I try not to dabble.
No, I appreciate you. I appreciate it. It's intense. It is
and
intense.
You see how we had you see how we had a conversation. You see how we had a conversation, right?
We did have a conversation. That is true.
I didn't disagree with you or say you're right, you're wrong. I think that once we start, us as Americans, start taking a step back and listening more to the other person's views instead of, oh, I hate this person, because honestly, we don't personally know these people. Who knows? We can be just these people. We never met these people. However, we can look at the policy. We can listen and have conversations or debates as such to start getting a brighter view, because at the end of the day, we all paying taxes, brother. The taxes ain't going nowhere. So what can we do to find a solution from both
I'll tell you one thing really quick then. The ICE detention facilities have the highest percentage of non-violent offenders or non-criminal offenders in American history. They are going for high numbers and high scores so they can brag about high deportations. Now, Stephen Miller and Tom Homan is accused of being on camera accepting $50,000 in a kava bag, like a fast food bag, in return for directing government contracts towards a certain private prison complex. There's a company called Geo Group. It's called Geo Group, G-E-O Group, G-E-O. And Tom Homan works with them. Him and Stephen Miller are invested in these companies, and they get kickbacks for every single person they have in ICE detention. So every single person every single detainee in these areas per night makes $120 per night. So they are financially motivated to drive the numbers up, and they get financial kickbacks from it. So when it comes to taxpayer dollars, we have billions of dollars going to imprisoning innocent people when many of them are like visa overstays. So let's say someone is a day over their visa. We could send them a letter in the mail to say, hey, you have to self-deport within 30 days or we're going to come detain you. They are not doing that. They are coming in plain clothing. They are ripping people out of their homes. They have blown up the doors of American citizens on accident because these are untrained dipshits. And they're arguing that it's legal for them to detain random brown people. All this stuff together. There is a very bad incentive system here that's not about keeping people safe. They're actually taking down the anti-trafficking forces to focus people on Home Depot day laborers instead of actual traffickers, which is a terrible use of my tax dollars.
Terrible. So yeah, man. I mean, I think that this is great that you have a platform that actually lets people call in to
I appreciate the
really point out the. Yes, sir. And what's your name again, bro?
Jola.
All right, Joel. I'm Victor. It was a pleasure meeting you. I think you should continue to do more debates like this so more people can get different ideas and a different perspective, because right now the world is in a crazy place right now, globally. The economics is crazy, the stock market is crazy. It's just, where do we find clarity between, the chaos? So you have a great night, bro, and it was a great talking to you.
I appreciate you. Go on.
All right, you peace.
This might be cool. Is this cool to the youngins? Do the youngins think Pete Hegseth is cool for this? Is this cool? If a man this age gets this drunk at football games and he's a known alcoholic, I'd keep your daughters away. I'm just saying. With that smile, holy shit. He's doing the gritty. That's so freaking cool. That's so freaking awesome, dude. Holy shit. Secretary of War. Haha. Libs getting mad over this is objectively hilarious. I'm so pissed right now, dude. Holy shit. He showed me up. He showed me up, dude. Oh my god, I hate that he's so cool. I hate that he's so freaking cool, dude. That's so epic. Holy shit. What's going on there? Listen to your message.
Jola, it's your boy, Tonight with Kyle. Hey, have you heard about the hundreds of people?
That'd be a good setup.
Jola, it's your boy, Tonight with Kyle. Hey, have you heard about the hundreds of people missing from Alligator Alcatraz? Yeah, we detained a whole bunch of people, and we just don't know where they are. There's no record of them being deported or moved to a different facility.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tonight with Kyle. An ICE agent got caught on video talking to a local police officer that he views immigrants as vermin and rats and animals, so he's happy to take care of them and get them off our streets and put them in cages. And when you call people illegal aliens, you call human beings aliens on purpose. Because you want to dehumanize them and say, these are not humans, okay? So if you don't have a legal status in America, you are illegal, you are an illegal, you're not a person, you're an illegal, you're an alien. Think about when, like, Charlie Kirk said that these are legal foreign invaders. So even Zoran Mamdani and other people who are citizens in America, they do not accept them, okay? They do not accept them. They want to denaturalize them. Trump threatened to denaturalize Zoran Mamdani and all these people in Alligator Alcatraz. And all these other private concentration prison camps or whatever in America, all they care about is the money ICE is making. These are not humans to them. Many of them do not view immigrants as human. It's really crazy. I think I have that video up, actually, if I look it up really quick. I probably do have that video. Let's see, brother.
Where they're literal street rats at a very young age.
Huh. That's so freaking cool. Holy shit. That's so freaking cool, bro. Holy shit, so freaking cool. That's so cool. Dude, it's so cool. Holy shit, based in epic. Okay. I think I have the God bless America. Learn to let thy love stand beside her and guide her. How you guys doing tonight? Thank you for watching. Appreciate you joining me tonight. Let me move this. Not this one. It's another one about doctors. Okay, so on camera, a border patrol. Wait, border patrol. This is the right one, right? Yeah. Oh my god. On camera, a Border Patrol agent was caught saying that people in his custody would ask for a doctor, and he'd refuse to give them medical help. So on camera, he says if they need a doctor, he'd refuse to give them medical help because he views migrants as animals, okay? This right here, this here is no different at all from how Nazis talked about Jews, okay?
There's countries like Brazil and other places where they're literal street rats at a very young age.
He's talking about people. He's talking about people. Remember, about people.
There's countries like Brazil and other places where they're literal street rats at a very young age and they're committing crimes. And then they come here. I don't know if you have kids, but they'll eat our kids for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
There's countries like...
The immigrant kids are going to eat your kids for breakfast. That's awesome as shit, bro. So he was caught on camera saying that he would deny doctors to people if they need medical help. He would deny doctors because they're animals. They are like animals. I tell my kids that all the time. They are animals. If they say I need medical help, he says, nope, you look good to me. I mean, we know all the people who are dying, who are suffocating, who are being malnourished to the point of starvation. And these are some of the agents who are doing this shit. That's Freaking cool. They are vermin. They are vermin. How dare they? Twisting narrative. I am lying. You're right, I'm lying. I lied about that video that I just played. Holy shit. Crazy. Changing the world of what? World order's philosophy? That's wild. I hate these gays. We're gonna deport you to Turkey. I was born in New Jersey. We know. Haha, you're gonna deport American citizens. That's so freaking cool. That's so cool. Holy shit, that's so cool. That's so cool. That's so freaking cool. We're gonna deport American citizens. We're gonna put you in jail for having opposing speech and thought crimes. Holy shit, you're so cool. Holy shit, you're so cool. Holy shit, you're so cool. Oh my god, you're so cool. You're so cool. Oh, I hate him. I love him. He's so cute. Holy shit. Sometimes they twinkle, sometimes they...
Material from speeches that he's had that unused material from speeches that he's had that no one has heard yet. We have Sunday specials lined up to the brim because my husband was so intentional about making sure that there was enough content. Always.
He made sure we recorded everything.
Everything.
He would not do a speech unless we could get the video and the
100%. So we have speeches that no one's heard of. We have interviews that no one's heard of. We have stuff from Korea and Japan that no one's heard of.
That's smart though. You probably should not speak if you can't record it, to be honest, unless if you're getting paid, dude, or if you care about the people there. Smart.
Trump is less popular than Donald Trump is less popular than he has ever been. He is underwater on virtually every issue.
Yeah, but Democrats are so unpopular because Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are too busy attending wine fundraisers in Napa Valley with Gillibrand and a bunch of Haley Stevens and a bunch of other corporate Dems.
If you oppose and are disgusted by what this administration is doing, you are in the company of a majority of Americans. You are not alone. More people disapprove and are opposed to this administration right now than they are in support of this administration. Those are the numbers. Donald Trump.
Very insightful. Thank God that person clipped it.
Whiskey decanter. Even though we're still being preempted in 60 American cities on Tuesday.
Sinclair blocked. Wait, no, Sinclair backed off it, didn't they?
Antique whiskey decanter.
Yeah, Sinclair and the other company are showing Jimmy Kimmel again.
Even though we're still being preempted in 60 American cities on Tuesday, we had our second highest rated show in almost 23 years on the air. Our monologue from Tuesday night has more than 21 million views just on YouTube alone. And I want to say, we couldn't have done it without you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. We got the Trump bump, and we appreciate it. And I've noticed that after the big boost we got, other shows on television seem to be taking shots at Trump, too.
This chair came from my stepfather's family. I, at one time, got offered $75 from an antique dealer for it.
Well, I'm happy to tell you this is a genuine Philadelphia Chippendale. Come down here to the skirt. This exquisite carving on the knees. Oh, and by the way, hey, Donald Trump, go yourself. These classic clawball feet, they're round yet lumpy, like Trump's titties. You heard me, you fat orange bitch? At auction, you're gonna get something like $8,000 to $12,000. Easy.
Okay,
So not bad.
not bad. Better than the $75 offer.
Release the Epstein files.
Yo, that guy is awesome. Holy shit, that guy's cool. But yeah, release the Epstein files. Elon Musk, his dad, they're all involved. Peter Thiel, JD Vance, they're all involved. Donald Trump, they're all involved. They gotta hide it because we'll know the truth. We'll know the truth. That's awesome, dude. We need more comedy like this. All the real comedians gotta stand up. No Kill Tony, no Joe Rogan bullshit. We need some Shane Gillis, anti-Epstein files, or pro-Epstein files, anti-Epstein, anti-Trump comedy. Holy shit, that's good. I love the comedy where it's like boring, a boring setting, then some wacky shit happens. But this is not legal anymore. It's not legal anymore. You cannot disrespect the dictator, the king. Our king says no disrespect, or you are a terrorist in America if you have opposing viewpoints. Holy shit! Thank God. Wow. You fat bitch. You fat...
Come down here to the skirt. This exquisite carving on the knees. Oh, and by the way, hey, Donald Trump, go yourself. These classic clawball feet, they're round yet lumpy, like Trump's titties. You heard me, you fat orange bitch? At auction, you're...
I think Hakeem Jeffries got to say this. He's got to say it in his very boring voice.
gonna get something like $8,000 to $12,000. Easy.
Okay,
So
not bad. Better than the $75 offer.
I like how she rolls with it. Yeah, this is definitely a doozy. At the request of Secretary Homeland Security Plastic Face, I am directing Secretary of War Pete Drunkboy to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland. War-ravaged Portland. Kind of awesome. And any of our ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa. Nothing was happening today. And other domestic terrorists. I am authorizing full force if necessary. Full force. What does full force mean? What does full force mean in a military context, guys? What does it mean? They are calling, if you call someone a fascist, terrorism. It's called for violence. Stephen Miller today has been whining his ass off. Gavin Newsom keeps calling him a fascist. He's like, this is literal violence. It's just so stupid. Miller and Trump have called Democrats fascists on many, many, many occasions. But they want this to happen. A big thing, a huge thing to remember here for anybody who will listen, Trump has planned this no matter what. No matter what happens, he's going to go for a fully authoritarian takeover of America. Anything that happens is just going to be another point to latch onto. Obviously, we cannot control every person in America. So when someone does something crazy and Trump uses it for more authoritarian gain, crazy things are gonna happen at any point in history. Some crazy things are gonna happen. There's never gonna be zero crime, right?
I was in the house one day. We had just got our power back on. By the grace of God, we somehow paid rent and had groceries that month.
You think God wanted you to tattoo your face?
I smoked cigarettes at the time, and didn't have any money for cigarettes, and I had half a cigarette left in this pack. I was sitting in the house listening to the radio or something, and this song came on the radio. I don't know if it was Drake or G-Eazy or some rapper at the time who was sort of talking about how fame was actually this terrible thing and having all this money was this terrible. It was just this woe is me story about the hardships of fame.
Thank you so much, Sri and Eric, for $5 each. Sri and Eric, watching your stream, keep doing what you do. Thank you, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for $5. First time donator, I think, from Eric. Thank you so much, Sri and Eric. And Sri sent an eagle for American freedom. How do I only stream an hour nowadays? I can only last an hour, guys. I can only last an hour. I'm sorry. You still take calls from the Discord? Not for you. You're a whiny bitch, Dova. I can't talk to you. Let's see. If you're in finance and you think Trump's better for the economy, then you're just brain dead. I can't reason with a person like that. Go do some private equity bullshit. You can't talk about public trusts. Okay. Giving a pro-Trump speech on a liberal.
All right, so you've.
Giving a pro-Trump speech on a liberal campus. The reaction.
All right, so you've probably heard that Donald Trump is Adolf Hitler. Now, why would America re-elect Adolf Hitler? Why would Joe Biden commit to a peaceful transition of power?
Because Trump lies, and because Joe Biden cares about the democracy of America. The peaceful transfer of power was normal before Trump. Not respecting that is a Trump thing, buddy. I don't know if you know that.
Power to Adolf Hitler. Well, the media has
2020,
another prescription.
2020 was the first time in American history it was delayed, bro, by a riot.
Commit to a peaceful transition of power.
It's normal to do
Adolf
that.
Hitler. Well, the media has another prescription for this. Sonny Hostin from The View said Latinos in rural counties moved 25 points to Donald Trump. And the reason? Well, they're misogynist. They're sexist. Now, I think this is a very harmful narrative, and I don't care whether or not you support Trump, because I know he's quite the horrible figure. But what I would say is that there is an argument to be made, and that my argument is that I think Donald Trump was a better president than Joe Biden. Now, I think it's for 3 reasons. The first one is foreign policy. The second one
Now,
is...
to be clear, just saying Trump won because of racism or misogyny or any one issue is really lazy and reductive and stupid. I don't like that argumentation, but you can pick any quote out of any group and say this is dumb, obviously. I would never argue that. It was a motivating factor for sure. Many people told me that Kamala could not win because she's a woman. People that considered voting Biden before. They considered voting Biden, and then Kamala was going to be the nominee, and then they said Kamala slept her way to the top, and a woman cannot lead. So.
Immigration policy, and the last one is energy policy. And we're going to break it down, and then I want to talk about some concerns, because I also think there's many concerns with Trump. So, the biggest failure of the Biden administration with foreign policy was probably Afghanistan. Now, in Afghanistan, Biden, after taking office, he undertook a superficial review over Afghanistan policy, one that totally ignored the advice of his top military advisor and his commanders on the ground. And on April 14th,
Trump had us scheduled to pull out in like May, I think, or April. Trump negotiated every part of that. He released like 5,000 Taliban fighters. He reduced our troop count to an all-time low. Trump did the entire pullout. He did the Doha agreements. Biden pushed it back. A recommendation from his top advisors. I don't know where this kid's getting his fake information from. But if you want to blame Biden for the random suicide bombing, it is a terrible thing that happened. But if anyone should be blamed, it should be Bush. Okay, it should be Bush for getting us in there to begin with. So.
2021, he reversed the Trump administration's condition-based withdrawal and announced all U.S. forces would be withdrawn on September 11th of that year, whether or not the Taliban was holding up their end of the 2020 agreement. Now, Trump's policy for this was called peace through strength. For example, when he was negotiating and he wanted to leave Afghanistan, he went to the leader
Trump's policy was called peace through strength.
of the Taliban, and he said, if you so much as harm a hair on the head of a...
Oh my god, dude. He went up, he said, hey, buddy, don't do bad things. And he's like, oh, Trump, I won't do bad things.
American soldier.
Wait, why is Putin continuing bombing Ukraine at the highest levels ever recorded? Putin bombs Ukraine and Israel bombs Palestine more than triple what happened under Biden. So why did that not work there? Why did it not work?
Blow you off the face of the planet. And then he took a picture of the guy's house with the coordinates, and he sent...
Oh, he sent him the picture of the house. That's so freaking
on
cool.
the table.
That would have definitely stopped the random suicide bomber. That definitely would have stopped the random suicide bomber. Which is probably someone Trump freed, by the way. One of the Taliban fighters he freed.
And he walks out. And there was not...
And the Afghanistan government we propped up. We did not involve the Afghanistan government at all in our plans to retreat from Afghanistan. They were shocked when the Taliban were moving in because they knew the plan. And they knew the plan. Afghanistan government did not. And they collapsed right when America left. But like the whole planning process from Trump was crazy. And Biden had no choice but to pull out when he got in office. On Trump's terms, and Trump delayed the pullout until after the election for that reason. He knew there would be a lot of pullback. But Trump said a couple weeks ago he wants to get us back into Afghanistan, right? He says we want to get the airport back.
Hair on an American service member harmed for 18 months. Now,
it's painful. Not a hair on an American service member in 18 months. Under Donald Trump, around 63 service members died in the line of duty, okay? Under Biden, the only ones that died were pretty much Afghanistan. There might have been a couple more, I'm not sure. But like 3 times more service members died under Trump than did Biden. So like the whole narrative of peace through strength. This all is a dumb thing to even debate on. You have to debate foreign policy on the merits because any crazy shit can pop off anywhere that a president might not be fully responsible for. But you can talk about the things they actually did. But talk about freaking foreign
Fortunately,
policy.
because of the Biden administration's lack of considering the strength, what they ended up doing
Lack of considering the
is
strength.
leaving behind
The
$85
suicide
billion
bomber.
because the Taliban kept growing and growing and growing during the Biden administration.
The Taliban was growing because Trump set their fighters free. The Taliban did not grow in the Biden admin when Biden was in office for 2 months and had to delay the pullout. Like, that is such a dumb statement. They were growing throughout Biden. That's why we left the stuff there. If we wanted to get the stuff out, Trump would have had to start doing it 2 years earlier. We were there for like 20 freaking years. There's a lot of shit there. This gets me mad when they say completely wrong things. Holy shit, it's stupid.
And unfortunately, 13 service members were killed in that withdrawal through a bombing. So, imagine you're Vladimir Putin and you see this video.
Russia will be held accountable if it invades, and it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having to fight about what to do and not do, etc. But if they actually do what they're capable of doing with the force of mass on the border, it is going to be a disaster for Russia.
So, you just saw, you're Vladimir Putin and you just saw Afghanistan. In addition to that, you just saw that video where Biden wasn't strong on the borders of Ukraine. Now, in the end, the West did end up having a great response to Ukraine, but I don't believe that under Trump, because I think Trump would have threatened Putin, I don't think Putin would have ever actually gone to Ukraine.
Wait, when did he do this? 8 days ago? You think Trump would have threatened Putin? Putin just bombed an American company, but when you made this video when Putin bombed an American company. It was literally like the day before. Putin bombed an American company and Trump didn't say shit. Israel just blew up 4 American citizens in Lebanon. Trump did not say shit. Israeli settlers like beat the shit out of an American kid a few months ago. Trump didn't say shit. Trump's gonna threaten them? Threaten who? To not be on his knees as much? Just a little bit less? Like what?
And that's up for debate, but that's called deterrence, and it turns out that works in foreign policy.
Yes, it works.
It also works in immigration policy. Now, I would like to say that immigration built this country. In fact, we're a nation of immigrants. Half my family is immigrants from Japan. But what do you see when you go down to downtown Portland? You see a bunch of homeless people. There's 60,000 homeless veterans on the street, and we don't have the capacity to deal with it. And that's where the problem with illegal immigration en masse comes. Because in New York City, there's 200,000 illegal immigrants on the streets right now without any means to get to citizenship, and they're being taken advantage of by employers not getting fair wages. So that's an issue. Well, Trump's approach to this was the Remain in Mexico policy, which, according to Reuters, it was an initiative that forced more than 65 non-Mexican asylum seekers back across the border. And they stayed in Mexico while waiting to present their asylum case. And what this acted as is it was a form of deterrence. But on day one, Biden ended this. And according to the Washington Post, under the Biden administration, there's been a 10-time amount of illegal crossings. Now, I'm all for immigration, even certain times asylum cases. I think those are completely valid, but we just don't have the capacity to deal with that right now. And then lastly, I want to talk.
So remember, whenever there was ever a chance to change policy on immigration for illegal immigration, Trump has not done it in his entire time in office. He has never done anything for immigration. He could have helped change the asylum process. Biden tried doing it when the Republicans wrote that border bill that Trump told them to vote against. They listened to him because he is their king. Biden tried reforming that system. Too little too late for sure. But Trump has not cared about legal immigration whatsoever, other than slave labor on farms. That's the only thing Trump was concerned about so far as president, and also beating up immigrants and putting them in alligator Alcatraz. The party that celebrates alligator Alcatraz is kind of crazy. I don't know why you can even say you're pro-immigrant if you are pro-Trump. Like, Obama was tough on the border. Biden was tough on deportations. Like, we have asylum laws, and Trump just does not listen to them. You can criticize that or be pro-violating asylum laws. That's fine, but, like, Maybe Trump should pass like a pro legal immigration policy just so he can talk about it, right? Because
about energy policy. Now, energy is the core of this economy. Energy is the backbone of everything we do. Another issue relating to that is clean energy. Now, under Donald Trump, 15% of all the energy we have was clean, and then it grew to 20% under his presidency, and this is according to Statistica. Now, under Biden, it went from 20% to 22.5%, and yet let me ask you, Biden invested $3.1 trillion into clean energy, and that was the results. Now, why is that? Well,
because Obama helped spur early green energy projects that take like 4 years to complete. Okay, so under Trump, those factories were completed. Okay, so you have the energy now under Trump, although the investments were done under Obama. Then Biden does the policy, okay, to invest money in green energy. And those are not done until Biden's out of office. And we know this because right now, Trump is canceling those same projects, the wind farms and solar farms, that Trump invested in, or that Biden invested in. So, like, many of the factories made right now and completed right now began under Biden. They started under Biden, so that energy capacity would be completed under Biden, or under Trump, I mean, sorry. If you start the project in 2023, it's going to be done now. It's just like moving manufacturing, where it's like, oh, we did tariffs. We did the tariffs. The jobs are coming back because we did the tariffs. And it's like, oh, wait, how are the jobs coming back? Because for these supply chains to move, it would take a minimum of 5 years, 10 years, okay? Minimum, 5 or 10 years. How can you claim a day after the tariffs, you already see jobs coming back when it's not true? How can you say that? It just shows you don't have any understanding of like very fundamental material aspects of these things. Which most people don't, and that's fine. It's actually a really interesting thing. So, like, politics is not won by political debate. Political debate doesn't matter that much. I would say having conversations like in podcast formats might move people now, and having a better vision for the future. But, like, policy debates are not going to change people's minds on who to vote for, usually. People vote off of more cultural, social topics, vibes, who they think is going to be better for the economy. They don't know how different economic or fiscal policy really works often, which I don't blame them. These points here would be hard for someone to debate on because you need certain direct comebacks that are good and tailored towards these arguments. What Trump supporters often do is they make very confident claims they might not know much about. But if someone's confident and braggadocious, if they believe they know about the topic, they will look better in a debate or a conversation versus someone who's really careful with their words because they don't want to say too much that they don't understand. That's how Trump won debates. He just like made jokes and laughed at people and was very confident. And then the only liberal response that's kind of like easier is like, you're racist, which is really dumb and beta and weak. And that's one big issue. It's hard having a Democratic Party with charisma black holes like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, because the leaders in the party don't give guidelines or pointers on how to message very well. And they don't care about the modern media landscape. They just don't care about it. So how do you fight back against it if you just don't care? Like, the left needs a Charlie Kirk. He was really good at what he did. And I don't see anyone on the left doing anything similar, like at all. And actually, I don't know. I don't know if someone on the left could do TPUSA. I think if someone on the left did TPUSA, they'd be canceled instantly. The money you need and the resources you need from that, you're gonna have to take money from dark money sources, which is fine in my opinion, depending on how you manage it and who you get money from. Like, there's some low-level billionaires and millionaires who are good people and who want good things for America, who are progressives or leftists or whatever, that want to help. But TPUSA had hundreds of millions of dollars from a bunch of rich donors. And on the left, they'll cancel you for that. We know that for a fact.
According to the NIH, Trump pushed an ambitious America First agenda aimed at transforming the U.S. into a global energy superpower. For every one regulation that was put in place, he slashed 7 regulations. And what this allowed for is companies to invest in clean energy without certain setbacks. And if you truly believe in clean energy, which I do, then we should just let it go on the free market and see what happens. That's just my view on it. And again, I'm not asking you to believe this, but just consider it. Now, the last thing I'd like to talk about is some of the issues with Trump. I think the biggest thing that's his issue is his ego and his personality, which caused him to not accept the results of the 2020 election. Now,
thank you for $3, Eric. You rule. Thank you for you rule.
That led to January 6th, which is one of the darkest moments in our history, and it's pretty bad.
You don't believe
that.
But
what I would say is that that's not unique to Trump. In 2016, Hillary...
Oh my God. Oh my God.
She didn't want to concede, and so there was riots among Portland.
Huh? What the...
Now, that led to January 6th, which is one of the darkest moments in our history, and it's pretty bad. But what I would say is that that's not unique to Trump. In 2016, Hillary, she didn't want to concede, and so there was riots among Portland, stores burned down, and over millions of dollars of damage is done. Now,
okay, the people in Portland who would do that would not vote Democrat. They are radical, far lefties. Okay, they would not vote Democrat to begin with. Hillary conceded the next day after losing the Electoral College and winning the popular vote. This is the MAGA brain. What the hell even is this? This is worse than usual. What the...
Not discrediting January 6th, but political violence is awful, but it happens on every side because we're all human.
Like Hillary, and you can say it happens on every side, but like when one party lies about elections and says there's no choice to change our democracy because elections are rigged, what do people do if elections are rigged? All right, there was never that claim made on the Democratic side. This stuff is exhausting.
The last one I'd like to talk about
How do I get
is
this
his
kid on
rhetoric.
my program?
Because one of the things that's wrong with his rhetoric is he'll often make blatant statements that will demonize certain groups. For example, in the debate with Kamala Harris, where he said immigrants were eating cats and dogs, that demonizes immigrants, and it's a big issue. Now, I bring those up because I want to say that Trump's not perfect. Politicians aren't perfect. They're politicians. They're humans like us, and we shouldn't put them on pedestals. But the American people overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump.
Overwhelmingly.
So I present this argument to you guys so we can consider the immigration policy, his foreign policy, and his energy policy. I'm not asking you to believe this, but what I am saying is hopefully his argument will give legitimacy to some sort of, to Trump supporters and people who voted for them, and so that we can dispel the narrative that they are racists and that they are sexist. Now, obviously, there are going to be some on each side that are like that, but
I think this kid seems like a decent person. I think he seems like a decent person. I want to get him on my show. Okay? I want to get him on my show. If you'd like to debate me in good faith. Ooh. Join discourse. I'll be hosting live debates for my YouTube channel later this month. Hello, sir. I am a liberal YouTuber with... I can type so good. With around 30K subscribers. I would love to have a live conversation with you, particularly surrounding the issue of January 6th and political violence. Thank you for your time, and I hope we can connect. Birthright citizenship, hell yeah. Who cares?
All right, Chair recognizes Ms. Mace from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning. The government of the District of Columbia, under the leadership sitting in front of us today, has become a poster child for DEI and gender madness. This has led to government. Mr. Chairman, this is not a concert. This audience can just settle down.
Stop the clock. And,
bro, she looks like a single mother who smokes 2 packs a day. Not too much, but not only like a little bit, but like 2 packs a day. She did domestic abuse, right? She also smells like a ham sandwich from a gas station. Like, there's so many things with her that are so crazy. Holy shit. She's like a crisis actor, reality TV star, becoming a politician. Oh my God.
Gentlelady's right. Under the rules of the House, the chairman is responsible for
Gentlelady,
maintaining
are you
order and
sure?
preserving decorum in the committee room. I expect audience members to be respectful of the committee. So we'll
I'd like to reclaim my time too, Mr.
reclaim
Chairman.
it. Absolutely.
This has led to government-sanctioned racial discrimination in the
What's wrong with a single mom though? Nothing. I had a single parent, bro. Nothing's wrong with it. I'm just saying.
erasure of women. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 provides Congress plenary authority over the District of Columbia.
You know LeBron James had a single parent, and also, wait, did Michael Jordan? Wait, no, I don't think he did. No, not Michael Jordan. Obama, basically, and LeBron James. I mean, come on, dude. They only had moms. LeBron James is a go-to example for single mothers being the best.
Using this authority today, I'll be introducing
I read Obama's books too.
the No DEI and DC Act. This bill will rip the DEI and gender bender.
If you're raising a child by yourself, you failed to pick a good mate, or the man's just shitty, dude. No. Don't blame the person who is still a parent. You're saying the person who stayed with the child and who takes care of them is the person to blame. That's insane.
Nonsense out of the DC government root and branch, and restore common sense and equal treatment under the law. As the individuals charged with writing DC laws, signing DC laws, and enforcing DC's laws, we have some questions for you on the
Obama had both parents for a little bit, I think. I have to figure this out.
meanings of some of the curious terms we have found in the DC Code. My first question for Mayor Bowser, it's yes or no. The DC Code makes numerous
Yeah, his dad passed away when he was super young.
references to, quote, structural or institutional racism. Do you believe the DC government is structurally or institutionally racist? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is DC government racist, institutionally racist? Yes or no? All right, you can't answer the question. So my next question for Mayor Bowser, since you're going to sit there and placate or just be quiet, in Section 7-1234.02 of DC Code, you use the phrase child welfare involved birthing people. Child welfare involved birthing people. Can you explain to me what this means?
I'm not that familiar with that part of the code.
Okay, and so you don't know. In Section 7-1234.02 of DC Code, you use the
I think we should lie. I think in this situation we should say, hey, yeah, women can have children, men can't. And if they want to talk about other shit, then go deeper. Actually, no, don't go deeper. I don't care. Talk to, in policy, make sure everything's right. When you're talking to your in-groups and everything, make sure everything's right. Maybe with your friends, talk about it. But in public settings like this, don't give them the own. Just be like, hey, what are you talking about, crazy lady? What are you talking about, crazy lady? What the hell? Why are those crosses on your ears so big, bro?
phrase justice involved incarcerated
All those beans.
homeless birthing people and their non-birthing partners. Can you explain to this committee what that means?
I would have to see
You
the
don't
whole
know. You're
section.
literally the mayor of DC and you don't know your own code of laws.
Well, I don't know
All right,
them.
one thing.
Do you think that the mayor knows every single word in every single code? You think they do every single thing by themselves? You think that's the job of a politician, is to do everything by themselves? That's probably the biggest falsity of politics, is the person being elected being the person doing the work. Like for Biden, I would not vote for Biden. I'd vote for Alina Khan, right? All right, guys. It might
We
be it for
noticed the
me.
DC code.
It might be it for me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Title IX was a landmark civil rights law. It helped create the incredible breadth of women's sports and girls' sports that we see.
Right now, how do you think the average Trumper feels about Title IX? I know they love it when they can use it to attack trans people, but in general,
across the country. I believe in girls' sports. I believe in women's sports. I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who are both athletes. I think participating in competitive sports is a wonderful thing for a young girl. I think it is a wonderful thing for a woman. And I think, unfortunately, today's Democrat Party has decided that women's sports and girls' sports no longer matters, and they're willing to push radical legislation designed to destroy girls' sports and women's sports. Ms. Gaines, I want to thank you for your courage.
Thank you.
You are relatively young, but you have demonstrated incredible courage. And
I love how she went from being a swimmer to now wanting to put all liberals in camps.
Because you have dared to speak up, you have been demonized, you have been vilified. I saw when you were attacked by a leftist mob at San Francisco State University for daring to speak up. You had
women.
I'm just asking, is there a difference between women and men?
What I can say is that the NCAA has rules in place. They've had rules in place for the last decade, and when this competition
Okay,
happened,
I'm going to try again.
the rules were clear.
Do you believe there's a difference between women and men? It's a yes/no question. Do you believe there's a difference?
Oh, I think that we're talking about this case with the NCAA.
No, I'm asking a question. Do you believe there's a difference between women and men? Most people could answer this very simply. I'm curious if you're willing to do so.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just putting it into the context of the conversation that we're having. I think that there are definitions related to sex.
Is
but
that
I
a
also
yes?
think
So I'm
that when
trying to
we're-
get a yes or no. I'm not trying to get a speech.
I feel like we need to focus on the clipping culture, where you just say, yeah, but let's get back to the conversation. You don't want that clip of you looking scared when they say, what is a woman? What is a woman? We need a better response to it. Defuse them. I swear to God. If we just say to them, like, yeah, they're different, sure, male, female, sure, but trans people are different, okay? Trans people are also people, and they are also women and men, but not males or females, and blah, blah, blah. There's different standards in different areas, different ways to address it, male, female, male to female, whatever, okay? But you don't want to give them their clip. They have a dialogue tree, okay? If we can disrupt their dialogue tree, like a sputtering AI robot from a potato battery, they will lose their focus. If you say, yeah, men and women are different, yeah, sure. Can women give birth? Yeah. Can men give birth? No, men can't give birth. Trans men can, but men can't. You don't got to say cis all the time, okay? You're in a setting where people might not agree, but you want to give an entry level to the topic. Don't say cis, be like, yeah, men cannot give, but trans men can. And I know why the language works as it does. I know why we do what we do. Okay, I understand why. But we're fighting a different cultural battle here than your academic setting and what's 100% correct. Okay, the humanization of trans people is the #1 goal in these conversations. And these sound bites, this is 2 years ago, by the way, but these sound bites are very defeating for us. And the fact that Democrats still don't have a response to this, with billions of dollars going to consultants and all these communications firms, is crazy as shit. Please, Democrats, hire me. Holy crap. It's so painful to watch. Even now, years later, they have no response to this. But if you break their dialogue tree, what else do they have? Are they going to talk about healthcare policy? Or make them just be super dehumanizing towards trans people? Because they want to masquerade it as a reasonable conversation. Even lead them into the area where it's like, yeah, trans people are different, you know? Trans, that's what trans means, dumbass. That's what trans means. But it does not make being trans not valid. And I don't know why you're so obsessed about something where there's like one trans athlete in America. There's some red states that have 0 trans athletes, and they made a big to-do about these laws. And your people are dying right now because they have no health care because corporations poison the water and then take their health care away when it becomes too expensive. In your state, you need to you need to have a good rebuttal as well to put them on defense. I'm sick of Democrats being on the defense constantly. They gaslight. They are crazy. You need to gaslight a little bit in return, for good reasons, guys. Please. That's all they do. It's all they're gonna do. They have nothing else. They have nothing else. We need smart rhetorical ways to break their dialogue tree. They will be lost. They will be confused. I promise. And we'll get back to what is 100% correct and get closer to that. But don't worry, cis, trans, you know, it, they, whatever pronouns, we can get to that. But we have other battles to fight right away. And that does not mean I'm less pro-LGBT than anybody, all right? I'm just doing it in a way that can be more effective. And I know people hate Sarah McBride. our first trans member of Congress, for sharing similar sentiment. But I agree with her on most of what she says about this topic. Thank you. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe, repost, whatever. And yes, I can comment as a cis hetero. I don't care. All right, guys, I'm gonna go to bed. $10. I can't go to bed after $10. Huh? Just had a mass shooting 2 miles from where I live tonight. 3 dead, 8 hurt. Thank you for $10. Wait. Thank you so much for $10. American Fish Company, Southport. Where's Southport at? Did they blame this on radical leftist terrorism yet? I feel like every single thing is gonna be blamed on that. Let's see, Southport, NYC. I want to see a map. I'm not sure. Brunswick Islands. Oh, that's all the way at the bottom. I've been to the Outer Banks a few times. Holy shit, that's crazy. Yeah, stay safe out there. I saw people respond to the Charlie Kirk quote where he's like, hey, there's a trade-off for every right. When he said that there's some gun deaths for the Second Amendment, and that's okay, because we need that trade-off to maintain freedoms in America. And someone said, like, hey, I mean, like driving a car, you have a trade-off there where you drive a car, you know some people are going to die and get into car crashes, but you'd rather live with cars and take that risk. It's comparable. But like with cars, you got to license, registration, you got to do a driving test, you do updates to that license if you have other issues medically. If you get old, you cannot drive legally anymore. If you lose your sight or vision or whatever, like there's other standards we have car ownership by. And if you drive a car wrong, and if you handle a car wrong, and if you don't maintain a car properly, and if you are not mentally able to have a car, we can stop you from doing that pretty easily. The cops can do that. I'm not saying we should do everything that we do with cars with guns, but we can do some. We know there's a risk, so we have some things to minimize injury and minimize risk. Oh boy. Let's see. 1 hospitalized, 1. Oh wait. A restaurant is scary. It's so scary. Holy shit. Did they get the guy? No suspects. That's scary. Numerous shots were fired from a passing boat on Dockside, North Carolina restaurant. So at nighttime on a dock, enjoying your dinner, a random boat starts shooting at you, killing 3 people, injuring multiple others. So pretty active rounds. Unidentified vessel. It fired into a crowd of unsuspecting diners and then took off into the intercoastal waterway with no suspects being captured. So now this boat is just like in the water going somewhere. Holy shit, that's so scary. It really is just like a normal dock restaurant as well. Live music on Saturday. So there's a live band playing when this happened. Did anything else come out from it? Alleged suspect is former military and a local resident. If the person who did this is confirmed, it's a far right winger, very anti-LGBT, definitely suffering from mental health issues. But like the question is, like, how does the left handle this story? Because the right wing is calling for a max genocide of liberals and leftists in America right now because of radical left violence. It's so sad. So the suspect is former military. He was posting things about asking for freedom and what you earned and not getting it. Rampaging about the LGBTQ community, saying that Epstein ran an LGBTQ PDF file ring. This person is a far right winger as well, former military, probably a lot of mental health issues. And like I said, many conservatives, the entire Republican Party wants to do a full crackdown on liberal thought in America, or any disagreeing thought, saying it's a call to violence. And left-wing terrorism makes up all violence in America. And they will lie. So like the assassination in Minnesota, that person was a Trump supporter, but they say he's a leftist, okay? They say he's a liberal. They can lie about that. This story, Democrats will never say the same thing in reverse. Like all Republicans are responsible and all that kind of stuff. But we need to talk about mental health as the primary issue here. These are not normal people. They are insane. They go crazy. The person that shot Ronald Reagan was not ideological. He was not political. He wanted to impress a random actress that he thought would love him if he went to go target Ronald Reagan. These people are batshit insane. Typically, people that do political assassinations and also shootings and all these different things, they are crazy. They are not Democrats or Republicans. They are not normal politically because they'd be in normal politics. There's a reason they go crazy and do crazy acts of violence, okay? And most of the time, it's mental health. There's no ideological bent to it. I'd say 99% of the time. Now, this person has ideology motivating... Like, it's a hard conversation. The main point is you cannot tie words to direct violence unless if someone's calling for violence. That's the primary pinnacle of the First Amendment in America. The right wing right now wants to use that against the left and say every single word against ICE and Trump is calling for violence and to do authoritarian crackdowns on speech. And liberals should still talk about this topic because people need to see it. It's stupid. You're center right and will vote Democrat down the line. I appreciate that. Well, supporting Trump is more of a pro-authoritarian thing or anti-government thing. So like you can, and also like if you think immigrants are humans, you probably are not going to vote that direction again, at least for a little bit until the party changes, right? So because they don't really think that very much of the time. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for watching. Now, what's going to happen here, is they're going to say if it's a right-winger that it's a mental health issue. And if it's the left, it's going to be political, basically, is what they're going to say. The suspect is in custody. Nigel Max Edge. He tried suing the U.S. for attempted murder. Yeah, this guy's going crazy. He tried suing America for attempted murder. The guy had his dog with him. brainwaves, fake intelligence, inspiring vigilantism, drug and light therapy. Wait a second. Something he filed about the U.S. trying to kill him. So the radical right-winger who did this shooting in North Carolina, this is when they sued the U.S. for trying to kill him. Now, he said they tried to murder him while serving honorably in the U.S. Marine Corps, and that an agent is a true insurgent. Agent Mandel followed LGBTQ white supremacist pedophile protocol laid out in the plaintiff's social security number issued by Evil Gays. So this guy said Evil Gays gave him a social security number that had a protocol following LGBTQT white supremacist pedophile protocol. Okay, plaintiff within a war that is now a scandal for that reason. The U.S. government was selectively murdering straight men. Okay. Oh boy. The U.S. government was murdering straight men being trafficked from Epstein's ring using LGBTQT code. When Nigel Edge survived, continuing with gaslighting over such events and intentionally conflicting negligent infliction of emotional stress with holding his obligated duty to provide justice to the men he owes a duty to provide justice for. While the plaintiff has been saying something was seriously wrong since Iraq, this is really sad, actually. It's actually really sad. But all that conspiracy language really hurts people like this, right? LGBTQT. Is that a thing, by the way? LGBTQT? It's a code similar to the plaintiff. However, he acts as a homegrown terrorist or insurgent. The government solved a scandal. The Epstein, LGBTQZ, waterboard, zip tied, being shot 3 times. Authorities, CID, and Agent John Marshall allowed Nigel Edge to be set up in Iraq, resulting in the plaintiff being shot 3 times, fragged, zip-tied, burned alive, urinated on, and then brought to Abu Ghraib prison. I might say that right. I don't know if I am. Probably not. To be incarcerated, disabling his leg, waterboarded, used as a drug mule, transported to the U.S. by a body bag, where upon arrival the plaintiff was restrained and had crazy glue put on his eyes, told he was in medically induced coma by doctors, strangled by his mother, had his breathing tube pulled out, and then gaslighted about it. Is it normal that Criminal Investigation Division and their agents, with all the evidence and knowledge enough to make movies about the general's daughter and more, revealed in this case, allowed and ignored such horrific events to occur to men and women they are obligated to protect and serve? Treason. Our military is fighting a global war on terrorism. And the world now knows that was a result of the LGBTQT white supremacist pedophiles running Epstein's ring. A lot of misspellings here. And their acts, wrong there, acts of sabotage and murdering of our own men, the plaintiff, and women honorably serving our country. The father's captor, white supremacist pedophile associated with Agent Marshall, public announcement of intended murder is more than obviously connected to such horrific events. LGBTQT pedophiles and white supremacists responsible for attacks on 9/11. So 9/11 conspiracies, some Candace Owens shit in here. This person was not well. And again, this person says many right-wing conspiracy theories, okay? These are very right-wing conspiracy theories. I am not going to say that all people who are Republicans caused this mass shooting to happen. Okay, I'm not going to say that. Now, people who have mental illness like this may fall to conspiratorial language more often. When people say there's no way to save America, everyone's under attack, there's conspiracies everywhere, and all this other crazy stuff, that can definitely be insightful rhetoric in some sense. But in America especially, there's a very high bar for that. I'm not going to say half of America are domestic terrorists over this topic. We can very clearly see this person was not well, okay? But I will read through things to see the truth. Many people just read a 10-character, a 10-word, whatever tweet that does not tell them anything. I released the Ranger cuts. Thank you again. I haven't been home. I've been traveling for work. I haven't seen anything yet. I'll have to go look after this. Thank you, 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 thank you. Benny Johnson was on the field during a Penn State game, dude. Oh my god, bro. Alright, thank you guys. Have a good night. I'll check my emails. I wasn't looking. 50 years. I released the Ranger. We'll see how they do on the TikTok. I wasn't seeing it. Kate, I wasn't looking at the chat. I was reading the thing. I was reading this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Me, I'm sorry. I gotta get a bigger screen. I'm so stupid. I should have done... If I want to do a TikTok, I gotta record something else. Wait, Trump will meet with Jeffries and Schumer Monday at the White House? Showing these different scenarios in a jovial manner, like a super humorous and funny. Aw, thank you. You cut this one out. Now, you see how it's a little bit faded like that? I'll have to send you a Google Drive link. I don't know why it's not. When you degrade people to the level of animals. When you take immigrants, you have 10,000 immigrants. Showing these different scenarios in a jovial manner, like a super humorous and funny. When you degrade people to the level of animals. When you take immigrants, you have 10,000 immigrants, for example, and you have 5 immigrants who did crimes. And you take those 5 immigrants who did crimes, and you say this entire group of people are animals. And we need to devalue them, dehumanize them. And I have Christians talk to me about American rights and our God-given rights. And I ask them about the rights we have for immigrants. And they said, immigrants don't get rights. And I said, why? Why don't immigrants get rights? They said, because they're not American. And I said, I thought rights came from God. But you're saying rights come from the American government. And they kept on saying, well, no, I mean, God gave rights to the American. So you think God only cares about the American people? Did Jesus Christ know about America? Did Jesus Christ talk about America when he walked this earth? Or do you just want to distort and pervert your faith to support human atrocities and to support taking human rights away from people? Because if you're a Christian, if you believe rights are from God, then you should not be talking about American rights for many of these cases. If you believe rights come from God. If not, just be honest and say you know rights come from the government. Okay? You know it comes from the government. You worship the government's rights. And that's fine. You can make that argument. Just don't act like you're high and mighty on a moral pedestal because of what you believe. Now, I don't have words for it because they think it's funny. But treating it like it's a game, going up in their faces, making these Pokemon cards, when we see them abusing people who did nothing wrong at all, again, they want you to view every immigrant as a criminal, as a violent offender. Name one time Trump talked good about immigrants, other than they had to be other than farm labor. They could work on farms and do food, right? They can make food for you. They can pick crops and whatever else. Name one time Republicans talked good about immigrants, even Democrats, because Democrats are bullshitters. They don't have any leadership right now. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Thank you. That's good. That's real good. That's good. That's real good. How do I share this? Wait. Copy link. Here, I just sent you a link. I just sent you a link to a Google Drive folder. Wait, let me see if I could fix it. If you can upload that to this Google Drive folder, I think it might be better quality than the email. Did you get that? Wait. Control. I'll get in Discord after this too. Google Drive folder. Share, source, share, people. Type. Share. I updated the access to it as well. Thank you. That was a good one. That was a good one. Tylenol is the only thing you can take as a pregnant woman for pain, basically. So there are going to be women who are suffering from high fevers and illnesses, and if they don't get their fevers down, their baby might be damaged in some way. Well, I'll say one more thing. I'll say one more thing. I don't think you need to put the titles. If you're sending me them, you don't need to put the titles on yourself, because I can put the titles on. When you put a title on a short or a TikTok, that title goes into the search algorithm. So like, sending just to clips clipped up, and then whoever's posting it, whether it's me or a clip channel, writing the actual title, that can work too. So whatever account was posting it can write the title. So if you send any, definitely leave the title out, and I'll put a title in there. Thank you. Thank you. Of autism. The studies are not clear there, but more women and also children. Trump said today, don't give your babies at all Tylenol. That can mean at any age. If a baby is a newborn, they can't have Tylenol, but as they progress through their developmental stages, they can have it eventually. There's going to be a lot of sick kids out there who are not treated right because of this. A lot of women out there suffering through pain they should not be experiencing, and harming their child in the process because this dipshit out here can't understand the English language. They do understand it, though. They're conspiracy liars. The companies that they want to give money to profit from destroying real medicine. That's why they're called alternative medicine. They have promo codes back to RFK's stupid-ass website and the kickbacks RFK gets. But yeah, this is really damaging for everybody. Listen to this, though. Don't blame me, I'm sorry. Don't blame me, I'm sorry. Don't blame me. Ibuprofen can't be used for pregnant women because it's a non-steroid anti-inflammatory drug. They can't use that. They can't use that. Tylenol is recommended in some circumstances by doctors. Tylenol themselves does not recommend it for pregnancy because it's not a drug for pregnancy. It's a drug that can deal with high fevers, and if you're pregnant, that's the only one you can take.
So excited to officially kick off our One Conversation at a Time tour on your beautiful campus. When we planned this all out, I wanted this to be the first stop. Thank you so much for having me. I am so honored to be here, and I'm so excited to officially kick off our One Conversation at a Time tour on your beautiful campus. When we planned this all out, I wanted this to be the first stop. I wanted to be here. I wanted to be with you, and this worked out perfectly. And it looks like we've got a full room, so I think we chose pretty wisely. So it's genuinely an honor. And
he really does have like closeted gay preacher energy, right? Like, am I wrong there? Closeted gay preacher? I'm sorry, I don't want to be homophobic, but like, I don't think Republicans are gonna like him. I'm just saying, I don't think they're gonna like him.
I want to say thank you to each and every one of you before we get started, because I'm a freshman at Auburn. I understand the strains in your time commitment. I understand all of the insane things that you could be doing tonight. You've got homework. There's probably some parties going on campus. You got to get ready for the weekend and whoever y'all play on Saturday. But genuinely, you took the time to be here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, if you don't hear anything else tonight, thank you for being here. Thank you for kicking off this tour with me. It is an honor to share this experience with you. Thank you.
Dude, I haven't heard him say one one argument yet, dude. I've seen him for minutes and minutes and hours, I feel like, and I have not heard one argument. Just like, we have conversations, we have many conversations. We have so many conversations. You have so many conversations. We have conversations to have more conversations, and we have fun having conversations, and all I care about is having the conversation. Having the conversation is all that matters. Having the conversation. Having the conversation. Chill. I accepted your request to edit that file. Ranger just wants to get paid if I ever get rich. If I ever pop off. I always said if I got over 50,000 subscribers, I start paying people. If I get over 50,000. Never know. Stephen Miller is a fascist. Yes. Thank God for Gavin Newsom. It's crazy. Define a fascist. Someone that says, for example, we don't care what the local government says. We don't care about the state government. We care about us and our own motives. Screw law enforcement. We're sending in the military. We're going to have military control of the entire country to stop all crime. We don't care about checks and balances. We got to solve this problem right now. We don't have a Department of Defense. We have a Department of War. I love Adam Mockler. Someone who's good at speaking at rhetoric. Oh, he's really good. Mehdi Hassan is also one of my favorites. They are so cool. Nice. Luke's alright. I haven't seen Luke. Adam's been on CNN going crazy. That's a skill. I've seen Luke in longer conversations, but in those stupid debate panels, he can survive there, which is a real good sign. Do what when the stream ends? I shared you to the file. Yeah, I shared you to the Epstein files. No, Adam Mockler debating the freaking MAGA guys. He does really good on Piers Morgan. He goes on some conservative shows. He's on CNN on the debate panel with Scott Jennings. He's really good. He's not just preaching to the choir. He's actually a person that goes into the heat. Now, I don't like Luke Beasley. He has more of a showy presentation style, which is good for views. I think he's much better than Harry Sisson and Dean. Like, I'm very anti-Dean and Harry Sisson and Parker. They can get good someday, maybe. But, like, nah. When we have Beasley and Mockler, they should be leading the charge. No, wait. I'm not one sub away. The numbers are wrong on your screen. I'm at 29,020. I need 83 more subs. I need 83. We'll get it sometime this week for sure. My fake subscriber count. Hey, if you send me a good quality TikTok of that one, if you can take the title off here. Where is it? Showing these different scenarios in a jovial manner. If you get this one, I could put it up tonight. See if it gets good views. Alright, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support. I hope you have a great night. I might pop in Discord a little bit. But again, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. That's my theme song. Alright, guys. Have a good night. Join Discord. Thank you for hanging out. What a sad excuse for a channel. Shaking my head. Thank God I have TikTok. Have a good night, guys. Nazi was defined as National Socialist. Yeah, Trump is a National Socialist, 100%. The national part is what matters. Like, Democratic Socialist matters a lot. National Socialist was a right-wing ideology. It was right-wing. Because he killed all the communists and socialists first. It's not as simple as just the word socialist. It's like the word populist today. Like, Bernie and Trump are both populists, but it makes no sense in that context. Alright, have a good night, guys. Appreciate it. I'm only 25. Wait, am I 25? How old am I? Yeah, I'm 25. He's a tyrant and a dictator? Yeah, he wants to be one of those, yeah. There's a lot of different types of dictators. Alright, guys. Have a good night. Appreciate it. Motorcycle age. Ooh. National Socialist. In Nazi Germany, they renamed the Ministry of Defense to the Ministry of War, by the way. So, like, the same thing we just did. It's whatever. You can't make that comparison or you're illegal. You have illegal thoughts. No, I actually forgot for a second. I'm gonna blow you a kiss, he says. Or he says I'm gonna kiss you. Crazy as shit. Crazy way to message someone on the internet. Oh, God. Shaking my head, dude. Shaking my head. For real, for real. Alright, guys. Have a good night. Appreciate it. Motorcycle age.